All right, welcome to Sportsmen Media, guys. Episode 22 here with my man Rob in Rob's studio. We got a lot to talk about today. Super Bowl 56 is a week away. Tom Brady, has he really done? Two players, if they deserve a second chance. The mega World Baseball Classic is this year, and what the Angels are going to look like this year. Let's get it.
And you're listening to The Sportsmen, Mike and Rob.
So Super Bowl 56, Rob, we were not very good with our Super Bowl picks from last week.
Yeah, we were hopeful, but no, hashtag rigged.
We were hopeful, but not really anything we picked really transpired, other than I think I picked the Chiefs to go. That's the only thing we got. I mean, the Chiefs got in by prayer. Chiefs Eagles. That's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it really depends on Mahomes and his ankle and what he can bring to the table there. It's going to be tough though. I don't know. I like the Chiefs going in. I think I'm leaning towards the Eagles.
Nice. I mean, it's going to be a good game no matter what. Both teams with the 14-3 record. The Eagles had a great season. Jalen Hurts, played out of his mind. Yeah, he was hurt, pun intended, at the very end of the season. But even then, it's going to be a great game. On paper, I think the Eagles have the upper hand, but you can't take away all the experience that Patrick Mahomes has. I mean, like I said last week, they got rid of Tyreek Hill. No Tyreek Hill, no problem. They're still in the same spot to win a Super Bowl. And I mean, when Patrick Mahomes still has Travis Kelce and the genius behind Andy Reid, it's hard to root against him, or to not root against him. I will definitely be rooting against him, but it's hard to pick against him. I'm going to be picking the Chiefs, but there's so many factors that go into it too. I mean, AJ Brown, when the Eagles got AJ Brown, that was huge. He's a big ass dude, and he catches anything and runs over people like it's nothing. And Devontae Smith, he's a small dude, but did you see that catch he made, the one-handed catch last week? It was awesome. And defense on both ends is going to be really good. I mean, the Chiefs had 55 tackles, which is second place in the NFL, and first place is the Eagles with 70. So that's a pretty big difference too from first to second. But those are first to second tackles that led the league. And another cool thing is the Kelce brothers going up against each other. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Especially going around for their mom to be the one throwing out the coin at halftime. I guess it's got over 100,000 signatures now.
Oh, that's cool. Where do I sign? Because that's awesome.
I think that's going to be awesome. Hopefully the NFL makes that happen. We'll get into that a little bit with our prop bet here picks, but yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, you definitely can't count the Chiefs out. I mean, like you said, Mahomes and Kelce are probably, I would say, in the top three of quarterback wide receiver pairing, probably in NFL history, right up there with Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Gronk. They're right up there, the easy top five, probably, like I said, top three behind Brady and Manning in pairing. I think they're actually close, I think, to Tom and Gronk's postseason record, I believe. I don't think they're that far off, actually, in touchdowns between here. But I'm going to have to say, though, I'm going to believe in Mike Trout's Eagles. I think for whatever reason, just the way that this has gone so far, I think the Eagles are going to come out on top. I think they have the edge. I think a lot of the experts are picking KC because of Mahomes' experience. But I really think the Eagles are going to come out on top of this one. If I had to pick a score, maybe like 35-28. I think
high scoring. So I'm going to go opposite direction. I think I'm going to go 21-24. It's going to come down to the very end.
Winning on a field goal?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So Chiefs winning on a field goal. I got the Eagles coming on ahead, 35-28. Definitely going to be, like I said, it's going to be a good game to watch. A lot of good commercials to look forward to. You got the Super Bowl halftime show with Miss Rihanna this year. Super Bowl, looking forward to the food.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but let's get down to some of the bets. We got some prop bets to make here for the Super Bowl. So we already got, I got the Eagles on top, so we got our winners. You got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs.
Bowl MVP. Who are you picking?
Yeah, I'm picking no one other than Patrick Mahomes. Again, the guy is insane. Just to think about how far he's, like, his resume right now at the very beginning of his career. It's crazy. It's crazy to see what he's doing. So Patrick Mahomes, I think he's going to do some crazy shit that we haven't seen before. Some shuffle passes, some maybe behind the back passes, some no lookers. Who knows? But I'm going with Patrick Mahomes.
Not a bad pick. Can't go wrong with that pick there. But I am going to be going with Jalen Hunt as the MVP. Eagles on top, obviously. I think he's going to kick it into next year. We'll see what happens though. So Jalen Hunt is definitely going to be my MVP pick for the Super Bowl. Then let's see. We got first person to score the touchdown in the game. I am going to say that I think Casey is going to score first. It's probably going to be a touchdown to Kelsey.
Okay, that's not a bad pick. I'm going to say it's going to be he's a running back, Pacheco. I think is the name.
Yeah, Pacheco.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the running backs. I know they have three running backs that they usually use, and that's one thing about Patrick Mahomes too. He utilizes everyone. That you can't double team Kelsey because Mahomes will either beat you with his legs, even though he just had that ankle sprain. Again, I mean, he just beat Joe Burrow and all his weapons on a so-called bad ankle. I don't think it's going to be close. So yeah, I think it's going to be one of the, they're going to be thinking Kelsey. They're going to be, it's goal line. And then everyone's going to be looking at Kelsey when Patrick Mahomes is either going to just shuffle short pass to one of these little running backs. So I'm going to say Pacheco.
All right. All right. So other little fun prop bets. The color of the first Gatorade poured on the winning coach. It's always a popular one there. What do you got for color?
Well, my original thought was blue. It pops, but the Chiefs are red, and you know what? With the background, with the grass, the green, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a red fruit punch. Here we go with the Gatorade red.
I'm going purple. I think purple is gonna be the first color poured.
Perps.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I've been kind of on a purple Gatorade kick lately, but I feel like purple's going to be it. I think red's just too obvious. I think the players at this point try to fake you out at this point with the Gatorade on purpose. Why not even be the Gatorade they're drinking? It's just a jug they have filled up to dump on the coach.
It's just jungle juice.
So I'm going purple. Heads or tails? What do you think the coin toss would be?
I'm going to say tails. Tails never fails.
Tails or fails? You always got to go heads, man. Going heads. I think it's going to be heads. Tails never fails, but I'm going heads, and I'm going to pick that the winner is going to be probably KC, and they're going to defer to the Eagles, and the Eagles will get the ball first.
Again, #rigged. Another thing, so this year's Super Bowl is played at in Glendale, Arizona, right? And that stadium is the State Farm Stadium. The spokesperson for State Farm is who? Patrick Mahomes. Just saying.
It's very true. That very well could be. So yeah, I think it's going to be heads. I think KC is going to call heads, and they're going to win the toss. Because I believe the Eagles are home, so I believe KC gets to call the coin toss, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they're going to defer. The Eagles are going to get the ball first. Even though I got KC scoring first, I think that's going to be the turn of events. So I think we're pretty much the opposite, all down the board there.
Good.
We'll see who comes out on top of this when we go to review this. All our episodes, again, guys, come out every Tuesday morning, 6 a.m., 9 Eastern on YouTube and Spotify. There probably will only be maybe a little short just reaction to the Super Bowl next week, obviously, because Super Bowl Sunday is on Sunday when we normally record these podcasts. We'll definitely be following up with our reactions to the Super Bowl and more. So speaking of football, though, Super Bowl legend Tom Brady, for the second time in 2 years, announcing that he's retiring. What do you guys say about that?
It's about time. No, I thought that it should have happened a few years ago. Even though he's still on top, he's still doing his thing. I just think in a month or two he's going to sign with the Niners or the Raiders or something. He's going to get that itch and he's going to want to play again. It's good. It's good for the game. I mean, it's time. It's time. Tom, he's 46 now. Is he 46?
He's 45, almost 46.
He's about to be 46 years old. He's closer to 50 years old. It's just it's insane. It's time. I'm ready for it. Well, what do you think about it?
Let's see. He just finished his 23rd NFL season. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion, if you can believe that. 5-time Super Bowl MVP out of those 7 championships. I think that he'll never live it down if he comes out of retirement again. How many times can you say you're retiring and not retire? Well, I mean,
yeah.
Is this the 3rd time now or is this the 2nd time?
I don't even know. I lost count.
I feel like he retired after he left the Patriots. And then he came back again. Then he retired again and came back again. So I feel like this is the 3rd time. Third's got to be the final time, right?
Might be, man.
I mean, obviously you got those rumors out there. He just came back to get a divorce from his wife. That's why he came back, so that she would divorce him.
So he could play golf after he retires.
So he could play golf every day. I mean, there's easier ways to get a divorce, Tom, than just coming back to play football again. I mean, the dude just got a monster broadcasting deal. He's going to make more money he ever made playing football. Broadcasting for what, ESPN, I think, or NBC? I forget which network, but like $350 million over 12 years.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
broadcast, which, I mean, he'll be a good broadcaster, I think. Again, one of those players you love to hate.
Yeah, you can't get rid of him.
You got to respect him, though. I mean, he was great, even with the cheating scandals.
Well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of gates.
There's a lot of scandals.
Deflategate, Spygate, the Tuck rule. People don't forget. Yeah. Even though he is the GOAT, he is the guy. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll ever be my top all-time quarterback because of all that, but I still respect his ability on the field.
Yeah.
He was a guy that didn't need to cheat, but, obviously I think it comes down more to the staffing, too, than just him.
Yeah, so far there hasn't been any gates at Tampa Bay yet, right?
That we know of, yes. Other than Sandgate, if you guys have not heard, obviously you guys saw he retired somewhere, announced his retirement in a video. You can see, like, condos. He's probably on the beach in Florida somewhere. And some nut job went and collected sand from apparently the spot he was standing or sitting or wherever he's at to sell it on eBay. And this fool's going to make over $100,000 on a jar of sand.
Yeah, it's a sick world we live in.
Ooh, it all comes down to why I say I'm just not stupid enough to be rich.
And it's just so easy to just like go to your backyard and get a jar of sand and say, "Hey, Tom Brady pissed in this. Here, buy it for $5,000." And some idiot around the world just be like, "Oh yeah, all right, yeah, take my money."
I could see someone buying like Tom Brady's underwear or some shit like that, his jock strap for that kind of money. But a jar of sand that he may or may not even actually touched. From the area where he was, I mean, it's insane. I mean, he listed it for $667 on eBay and has had over 120 bids to push it over $100,000.
Yeah, that's insane.
As much as I hate LeBron, if he retires on a beach, I'm going to go collect some sand and sell it. If to any of you suckers that want to buy that shit.
And someone will buy it.
Oh, good God. But anyways, just wanted to touch on that sand. I just thought that was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
On the sand. But so more on that Super Bowl reactions. Good luck to the Eagles and the Chiefs coming this weekend. So I hope you guys, safe Super Bowl parties out there. So moving on to 2 players, one from the baseball realm, one from the football realm. Which one deserves a second chance more than the other? We've touched on Trevor Bauer, obviously, last week. Does he deserve a second chance? Who's going to pick him up? And then Deshaun Watson. What's he going to get? Does he deserve a second chance?
So, yeah, the whole thing is it's crazy that Trevor Bauer hasn't signed yet. And it's crazy and it's expected at the same time. I still don't think there's going to be a team that's going to gamble with him. It just blows my mind that if Deshaun Watson, who had countless allegations against him, sexual allegations against him, I think it was more than 22, wasn't it?
It was
I don't.
23. He's already settled 22 confidentially. And I guess there's still one pending in Texas or something like that his lawyer's trying to get him out of a deposition for.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And the one thing that I can think about is talent. It's that these big owners, if they want to win bad enough, it doesn't matter what you did off the field. If you can help win a championship, win a ring, whatever it is, then they'll look past it and they'll pay big money for it. And the Browns, they don't care. And if you watch this season, they had Jacoby Brissett. I think that's who they had, which isn't a bad quarterback. He's a good backup quarterback. But once Deshaun Watson came, once his suspension was up, so Deshaun Watson was putting passes right on the money, throwing it to receivers, hitting their hands like they didn't even know what was coming. And Deshaun Watson knows a thing or two about putting balls in people's hands when they don't know what's coming. So if Trevor Bauer can have that effect, that Deshaun Watson effect, if he's good enough, then I do think that there's teams that could use him. And if they look past it, which teams have looked past domestic violence before, they've looked past a lot of corrupt things before, and I don't know why and what's the major factor, what's the difference that these teams are not going forward with the Trevor Bauer thing, because there's a lot of teams that can use him right now. You can plug him in and he'll be top 3 in the rotation. And we have our top 5 destinations that with these teams that can use them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think sports teams really got to be careful when they approach these situations. One, these players are definitely role models for kids all over the world. And also, though, if they're not found guilty, I definitely don't think anything should be held against them, because that's how our justice system is supposed to work.
That's how it should work, yes.
That's how it's supposed to work. No matter what the allegations were, if you weren't found guilty, then it should be that allegations never happened.
And I get it that they're supposed to be role models, but no one told them they have to be. It's not in their contract, so they don't. I
mean, it's not in their contract, but they're not stupid. They know what they're getting into, being professional athletes and people looking up to them. And, again, I think it's just like if they're found guilty of these crimes, then I think maybe teams should definitely probably set an example, because I do feel that privileged, rich athletes, celebrities, I mean, they definitely take advantage of their power. And I think that just needs to not be a precedent that we set forward, that it's okay to do these things. As these people and members of society, I mean, they're human beings just like any one of us. Just because they're famous or they're good at sports doesn't make them any less liable for what they've done.
Absolutely. And I think that, if you're in a position of power, you should hold yourself to a higher standard. But not everyone is people take advantage of their position all the time. Like you said, if they're actors or professional athletes, people do that every day. If you're a manager at your company, if you're a police officer, if you're this, if you're that, good people will react differently, and bad people will take advantage of wherever they are. That's why, like Mike Trout, that's someone that I would want my kid to look up to. He holds himself to a higher standard. You don't ever hear him in a negative way, like about off the field. He carries himself to a high standard. Trevor Bauer, he might be a piece of shit, but that's not our business. That's why it's such a fine line to bring in politics or things outside of the game. And when you bring that into the game, it taints it a little bit. It should be just watching the game. Hey, what can this guy do on the field? That's why it still blows my mind about Pete Rose. He could have been a piece of shit. Doesn't take away the fact that he is one of the greatest hitters to ever live. But again, people care about too much about the person, not the player. And if we're caring about just the player, Trevor Bauer, he should be on a baseball team. He should be signed.
I feel like someone's going to sign him. Someone will take a chance on him. It's just all going to come down to who. I think if I had to pick one or the other, I think Trevor Bauer's more deserving than Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Watson definitely had a lot more accusations against him, and things that were actually settled confidentially, which means some kind of a little bit of mittens. Obviously, that's not 100% true. I do realize that some people are shakedown artists, and especially the rich people, they claim things and they want to pay out. And sometimes, as a rich guy like that in the media, it's a lot easier to pay them to go away than to drag it out, even just to save face and know that you're innocent.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's definitely a lot more evidence against him than there was against Trevor Bauer. So that comes down to our top 5 picks. Let's just go back and forth with 1-1. So first landing spot, I think potentially for him, Texas Rangers. I think is going to be my number 1 pick that he may land at. The Rangers mean business. They've made good signings. They got Marcus Semien now, Corey Seager. They got Jacob DeGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, John Gray, even the Heen Dog from the Angels over the last 2 winters. I think they could weather a little bit of controversy, and the Rangers are definitely looking to win now. And Trevor Bauer is someone that could help you push you over the top in your rotation. I mean, he's, like you said, easily top 3 guy right off the bat. Yeah,
no, see, I like that. I like that a lot. But the factor with that is with any team, I think, is will he mesh with the big dogs there like DeGrom? DeGrom's another dude. I don't hear any negative things about him off the field, and he's great on the field when he's available. But if DeGrom plays like he's played in the past, he'll play half the season and get injured. So they'll definitely need him. And then there you go. Bauer will be the fucking top dog right there. So I like that. My number 1 pick I could see him at is if you're going to stick toxic with toxic, I'm going to stick with, I'm going to go with the Yankees. The fan base is pretty toxic. Trevor Bauer doesn't give a shit. The fans will just tear him apart, but he doesn't care, So I could see him clipping the hair, doing the shave thing, going out and trying to shove for the Yankees. And if he produces, then the Yankees fans will love him. They'll love him one day, they'll hate him another. So I think that'll be a good fit for him because what do you have to lose, Yeah,
I could see the Yankees possibly doing something like that. I think I see the Yankees more maybe trying to sign him than I think I see Trevor Bauer going to the Yankees. Mm-hmm. Now, if that's his only option, he'll probably want to play. But I feel like the Yankees, as you said, are just too structured of a team for this guy because he's kind of a wild card. He's like a Vince Vaughn from, Major League. He's a wild thing. You don't know what he's going to do on the field. Yeah. You don't know what kind of taunting he's going to do or off the field, even clubhouse. So that's the only reason I can't see him going to the Yankees because of that extra structure and how they want their players to act or maintain themselves. But it's not out of the possibility. It's definitely something that could happen. Number 2, though, if we were talking about teams that can handle controversy, I got the Houston Astros. For number 2, no team out there that can't handle more controversy than the Houston Astros, so what's a little more, right? I don't think it's going to hurt them any more than people already hate them. So I don't know how much of a possibility it really is, but I can see him going to a rotation like that. They need to replace Verlander they lost to the Mets. So I think it's definitely something that Houston could look to improve on, and that would really make them even tougher in the AL West. That's getting tougher by the minute.
Yeah, I got the Astros in my I got them number 4 for me. Mm-hmm. The Astros have signed people, some pitcher, I forgot his name, it's a couple years back. I think he came from the Blue Jays. There's domestic violence issue, and the Blue Jays dropped him, and then boom, the Astros signed him. So the Astros, they don't care. They're another team that there's the scandal a couple years ago. People don't forget the trash cans. But if they can move past that, they won this last World Series, and that was kind of bearing the hatchet. Okay, enough's enough. It's time to move on. I get it. But I can definitely see him being an Astro, and it would be really fun to root against both him and the Astros. So I can see it. Yeah, I have him down as number 4.
I mean, I got it. I can see it. I hope it. Part of me hope it doesn't happen because we just don't need the Astros to get any better for the Angels' chances. But
it could tear them up from the inside.
It could make them worse. That is true. Draw them the inside. Who do you got as number 2 if you don't have?
Number 2, I have the Angels. I don't think they're going to do it because of chemistry and everything inside the clubhouse. But if there's ever a team that needs pitching, I mean, I know starting pitching wasn't the issue last year, which I can't believe I just said that out loud. It was the relief pitching. But I mean, if Trevor Bauer is desperate enough, he might take any role that comes to him. Like if they're saying, "Hey, we need someone for long-term relief," boom, there you go, earn your spot in the rotation. Then he might do it. And if they can get away with signing him for like a league minimum, if that's what it comes down to, then I could see him go to the Angels.
So I got the Angels as my dark horse, kind of a 6th pick out of our top 5, because it's definitely an Angel move. It's definitely an Angel move to sign a guy like Trevor Bauer. But, this is where you weigh the pros and the cons. The Angels are desperate. The Angels need to pull out all the stops to win this year to keep Ohtani, because short of making the World Series, it's hard to think Ohtani stays at this point in time. Now, obviously, there's tons of rumors. Rumors could be false. Everyone likes to talk. Maybe this whole time Ohtani's got his mind that he still really wants to, as long as they can show that they can win and get into the playoffs, maybe he'll stay. That's just me being hopeful. But at the same time, the Angels have been involved in so much controversy too, and a little bit different than the Astros. After the cheating scandal, the Angels were talking about, manslaughter and people dying and robbing kids in the Dominican Republic, which is not just the Angels, it's pretty much every major league team. They just happen to be the spear front.
Yeah, that's bad.
Does that maybe hurt your chances more with someone like Ohtani? Or maybe you do just sign him for the 1 year, league minimum. He helps you win, and you get rid of him. And keep Ohtani, A lot of stuff, you can see it happen.
Yeah, at this point, I think Ohtani's done. I think he's moved on. He's going to go to anywhere else. Like you said, for all those reasons, if he came here and we were just winning, like off the bat, then it might be a different story. But it just seems like the Angels need to do so many things to become a winning ball club.
Yeah, so many things have to happen this season, but we'll get into that more in a little bit. New York Mets, I got from my number 3 team. They got the billionaire Cohen, who's just throwing money out left and right, doesn't care what he's spending on. So why not add Bauer? Why not? That's a pretty potent pitching lineup.
I got the Mets as my number 5 for that same reason. Cohen just spends money like crazy, and he doesn't care who it is. Oh, you're a big name. Here's money. How much you want? Take it. And I could see it happening just for the sheer fact of he's a big spender.
That's pretty much it. He doesn't care. He wants to win. He's committed to winning and acquiring the best talent available, which he's probably now the best pitcher available on the market. So definitely can see that happening.
I got the Padres for number 3. They're just one of those teams that's just signing everyone. They remind me of last year or the year before, the Nets and the Lakers, where they were just signing all these dudes left and right. Oh, you're a name. You used to be good. Oh, you used to be good 5 years ago. Yeah, sign you. Boom, boom, boom. And the Padres doing the same thing. Oh, what's your name? Signed. Oh, okay, signed. So and they need to put up. They need to put up some big numbers against the Dodgers and that division. And so they're all in. I could see them going all in with Trevor.
Yeah, I got Padres number 4 for me. They got Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, Blake Snell, and then pretty much after that, the back end of the rotation is kind of in question. Seth Lugo is going to be given a chance to start, obviously. Padres have been spending big. They're currently over the luxury tax threshold, so signing someone like Bauer, who is going to be extremely cost-effective, signing at the league minimum, that it definitely makes sense for them to bolster the rotation. They got to do something aggressive to get in there to really stand a chance against Dodgers and the rest of the NL National League. Going against teams like the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves, they're all just constantly getting better. Padres definitely got to do something. They overcome the Dodgers in the playoffs after getting smashed all season with them. They had hopes were so high, and then they just got cut short after that. But maybe that's what they need to do to push them over the edge. It's like the edge on the back end of the rotation.
Yeah.
Who'd you say you had at number 4?
Number 4 I had the Astros, and number 5 I had the Mets. So,
number 5 I got the Cleveland Guardians.
The Guardians.
I think maybe he makes a return home to Cleveland. He spent a bulk of his career there with the Indians. He's cost effective. The Indians, are only the 27th highest payroll in the sport. They got lots of room to spend money.
Is Terry Francona still there?
I don't know. I have to look that up. I feel like Terry Francona is still the manager of the
Because if he's still the manager of the PC, if he's still the manager of the Guardians, I don't see that happening. Just for the fact that, do you remember when Terry Francona went to go take out Trevor Bauer? Trevor Bauer takes the ball and throws it as far as he could over the center field fence, and then you can read his lips clear as day. Terry just was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And we played a lot. I've never in Sunday ball or anything like this. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anyone do that. Throw the ball. I mean, that's like, I have a 2-year-old toddler, and even he doesn't throw tantrums like that. It was pretty bad. I don't see them wanting
of the Guardians.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
because he got traded. He got traded right after that incident.
Yeah.
He threw the ball over center field fence, and then I think he got traded to the Reds.
You got traded to the Reds. So I mean, but again, Todd Brass sometimes will overrule you, so maybe they still bring him back.
Yeah,
Some slim chance to none, but one of the teams that would be a good fit other than the coaching situation. And speaking of the Reds, that was another kind of dark horse, Cincinnati Reds, a team that he also played for, won a Cy Young with the Reds. Maybe they bring him back. The Reds have kind of been building a silently better team to compete with, so maybe that's something that also helps push the Reds over into the playoffs.
I think any team that Trevor Bauer's already played for is going to stay clear. They're like one of those toxic exes that keeps trying to come back to you, and you're like, no, I know what crazy is, and I know what kind of crazy you have, and I don't want any part of you. So I think it's going to be one of these new guys, like the Yankees. I could see the Yankees. I would hope that they do something like that, because it would be just a lot of fun to see that in New York.
You can see Trevor Bauer with Garrett Cole pitching together. That'd be kind of a little interesting duo there. They're both kind of...
Oh, yeah. You know what, too? There was all that beef when Trevor Bauer called out Garrett Cole about the sticky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what, man? I don't know if the Yankees are my number one anymore. Just with that late breaking news that happened months ago. Yeah, dude. Here's a fun thing though too. Let's say, how they have those rough and rowdy, those boxing matches. All right, well then Garrett Cole, Trevor Bauer, put on the gloves. Let's do it. Yeah, exactly.
In the clubhouse like men.
I kind of think Bauer gets the best of him. Trevor Bauer, I think
Trevor has a little more scrappier fighter than Garrett.
I could see Garrett Cole trying to throw a punch like he's throwing a baseball.
Both would be good to see, though, and interesting to talk about. So we'll see what happens with Trevor Bauer. I think someone will sign him. They're probably going to be, I feel like it's more likely to be a team not contending that's going to want to take a chance on him. But
yeah,
time will tell. We got I think a week or two until catchers and pitchers start reporting to spring training.
I can't wait, man.
I think the first Angels game is like the 28th or 25th of this month. So spring training is just right around the corner. We're going to be trying to make out spring training for at least one game this spring. More follow on that as we get closer.
Mm-hmm.
That'll probably be in March. But yeah, fun times ahead, and we'll see what happens. So getting into next topic, we got the World Baseball Classic coming up in Miami, Florida.
These are going to
starts March 7th, goes to March 21st. So most of spring training is going to be for these guys, anyways, in the World Baseball Classic this year. And I think we got a good one. I think we could see, I would like to see the USA against Japan for obvious reasons in the championship game. Obviously, for the matchup for Shohei versus Mike Trout, I think we got to see that matchup during the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an at-bat seen around the world. People are going to be tuning in from everywhere. The World Baseball Classic is just so fun to watch. There's so much passion. I mean, if you're not a fan of baseball and you watch any of these tournaments, any of these games, it'll make you an instant fan. It's just all the passion behind it, and you see how big the game is around the world. It's great. It's so good for the game. It's better than the Olympics. Better than, it's top. I mean, just you're playing for your country and yeah, the passion behind all of it. So there's pools. It's ranked. So pool A's what's to say, Chinese. I don't know how to say that.
Chinese what?
You got the I got
the
got the pool.
Tempe, I think.
All right, and don't
Don't judge the pronunciation.
Yeah. So and then the Netherlands, which they're pretty solid club. Cuba, they'll be solid. Italy, which should be pretty solid. Mike Piazza is the coach for Italy. Panama, they'll be pretty good. Pool B, you got Japan, solid. Korea, they'll be solid. Australia, got a couple good dudes. Now they'll be all right.
Australia for a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah. We got China, they'll be good. Czech Republic. Pool C, USA, Mexico, Colombia, Canada, Great Britain. That's going to be dogs. And the last pool D, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Israel, and Nicaragua. Just these teams are going to be just phenomenal, outstanding. And like you said, for the USA, there's going to be games in Miami, Florida, and Phoenix, Arizona. So that's just going to be a lot of good ball there.
Definitely going to be a lot of good ball. Thinking about this, and I've seen the dates here. They're playing in Phoenix. Possibly, maybe even a chance to see one of those games.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
If we were to definitely go to spring training the weekend of the 11th, which I think was one of the weekends we were talking about. 11th and 18th. So it definitely looks like there's a chance we could go see a game, spring training game, and a World Baseball Classic game.
Oh, yeah.
Who's playing there if it's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. So definitely something we'll have to look at planning. Right off the bat, looking at this, I think top 5 teams.
So in 2009, which is a long time ago, I remember I went to the USA versus Japan game, and that was back then when it was Ichiro and Hideki Matsui, and Japan was the shit. And for the USA team, I mean, just nostalgia, dude. I remember seeing Ken Griffey Jr. playing center field, Jeter playing short. It was stacked, you know. And as a kid, you see that. I mean, it was at Angel Stadium too. We had a box. It was sick. But yeah, David Wright playing third. Yeah, it was great.
Japan's always going to be one of the top teams. I mean, they're one of the top teams from Little League all the way on to the top. You know, they're always in that championship. Top 5 teams right off the bat, no particular order right now. I got Japan, USA, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic. I think those are the 5 teams to beat.
Right, say it one more time.
I got Japan, the USA, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, and probably a toss-up between Puerto Rico and Mexico. I think those are the top 5 teams right off the bat, teams to beat in this World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, definitely USA, Japan, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic. I mean, yeah, all these teams, dude, they're going to be just outstanding. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be it's gonna be World War III.
It probably could. Like I said, so you got the top 2 teams in each pool advance to the quarterfinals, and then those matchups advance to the semifinals to the championship that will be held on March 21st in Miami, Florida. Wish we could go to that. That'd be awesome to go to. But this is a lot of our realm at the moment.
And again, like I always used to think, okay, well, last year, what was it, 4 years ago, the last baseball classic, we won it all. The USA won it all. It was great. There was a lot of great moments. But still,
Andrew Jones catch in center field, right?
Who?
Was it Andrew Jones?
No, Andrew Jones played for the Braves.
Who was in the center field?
It was a Jones.
It was a Jones. It was Andrew Jones.
No. Fuck, what was his name?
You're thinking of, there's only 2 Joneses, right? Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't him. It was fucking the dude that played for the Orioles.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'll give him a minute, dude. I'll get it. So he played against, or he was with Machado, and he was. Yeah.
Adam Jones.
Adam.
That's right. Yeah.
AD.
Catch.
Yeah, and that was sick, dude.
Adams.
Even Machado, that catch was just one of the sickest moments in baseball history. I just remember there's such a good moment, the game, and he robbed that home run. I mean, it was a no doubter. And Machado, which is the machismo guy, the guy that's just that causes problems and this and that, and he's got a bad rap, but even him, he tipped his cap because that was such an amazing catch. Just a great tournament. But yeah, I always think about like the USA never really had their guys. They never really had Mike Trout, the best player in the game, play, and now he's the captain. And we have all our best players playing for the USA. Yep. But a big thing too. One of the key players for USA last World Baseball Classic was Marcus Stroman. Yeah, I remember him doing a shimmy up there, just getting in people's heads, just dealing. I know he's a different player now, but the dude's playing for Puerto Rico, I believe. So there's a fine line. Like you need to have a certain amount of whatever ethnicity it is to be, qualified as one of these other teams. I think Christian Yelich qualifies for, is it Japan or China? I forgot one of them, but he qualifies to play for a different team, which last World Baseball Classic, he was playing for the USA team. I'm not too sure if he's going to play for, I think it's Japan. I could have sworn I heard it was Japan. But
it is me. I didn't know he was anywhere close to
yeah, neither did I. Dude, do one of those 23andMe's. But yeah, it's going to be good ball, dude. I can't wait.
Obviously, the story we're looking for is Trout, Ohtani in the championship, each other, Ohtani on the mound, Trout at the plate. Coming down to one of those, who do you think gets the edge over the other if they are to face each other in this class?
Well, I'm going to say it's going to be Shohei Ohtani, no doubt. I've watched a lot of Angels baseball. I've watched a lot of Mike Trout, and I could just one of two things is going to happen. He's either going to pop up or he's going to K. And I'm going to say Ohtani's going to go right after him. He's going to go, fastball. It's going to be triple digits. He's going to swing and miss or fouled off, and he's going to go splitty, low and away, and he's going to go he's going to work inside, outside. He's going to work the corners, and he's going to change speeds, and he's going to get the best of them. Definitely, I'm going to say Shohei's going to shove. I would like to see Mike Trout go yard, pimp it, but that's not who he is. Yeah, it's going to be a pop-up or a strikeout. And if I'm going to have to pick, I'm going to say he's going to strike out. He's going to K.
I definitely think, especially when you're teammates, that the pitcher will always have the upper hand, knowing your weaknesses and your strengths more than probably anyone else in the league, by playing side by side all the time. However, Ohtani likes that breaking stuff. He likes his heater. Obviously, challenging Trout with a 100-mile-an-hour heater up in the zone is Trout's weakness. But I know he likes his off-speed pitches, and I think Trout gets a hold of one down in the zone, a splitter, a slider. I think he makes him pay on an off-speed pitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd like to see. I don't know. But either way, it's going to be fun to watch. And, hopefully, like you said, hopefully this is what happens. I think it's going to be the best thing for the World Baseball Classic if those two teams go against each other.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. Because if not, it's going to be robbing every baseball fan of all their fantasies,
Pretty much. I think it's the ultimate fantasy for every baseball fan. Got to see Trout versus Ohtani. I don't think there's more spotlight on anyone else in this World Baseball Classic right now. Shohei obviously the brightest spotlight playing for Team Japan. And I think a lot of what happens in this may also determine Shohei Ohtani's future. I think a lot has to do with his success for Team Japan. If he gets a taste of that win, and then the Angels just suck,
yeah. Again, the dude's out. He's not gonna.
I'm gonna remain optimistic. That's the only thing that's gonna keep me going. So yeah, we'll keep more on touches on that as the World Baseball Classic comes to fruition here in the beginning of March. I think we said, what was it, March 8th or March 7th? March 7th, I believe, is the first games.
Mm-hmm. March 11th is when it comes to the States. So
yeah, March 7th is Cuba versus the Netherlands. Netherlands. That's going to be at 11 Eastern. And then all the other games start on the 8th with Panama versus China, Aussie, Korea, and Panama, Netherlands. So
you want to do some quick picks for who do you think is going to take these games real quick?
we can fill out our bracket. Let's do the World Baseball bracket real quick.
Okay, so yeah, first game.
Pool A. We'll start with Pool A. Who do we think is going to come out?
Are we just picking one team out of every pool?
You got to pick 2, I believe.
2? Okay.
You got to pick the top one and then the runner-up. You got the runner-up plays the winner of Pool B. So, all right. So, top pool, I'm going, I think China will be the top pick. And I'm thinking Cuba is the second pick.
Okay, so yeah, we're picking from Pool A and B. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So China is going to advance in the first round in game 1 of the quarterfinals, and Cuba will be in game 2 of the quarterfinals as the runner-up. And then Pool B is the runner-up for me. I'm going to go Japan, obviously number 1. So Japan is going to play Cuba. And then runner-up is going to be Australia. I'm going to go Australia. What do you got then for quarterfinal?
Okay, so Pool A, I'm going to say Cuba. Yeah, they're coming up on top. And then they're going to be playing, I'm going to go China. No, yeah, I'll stick with China.
No Japan?
I was going to go Japan, but I didn't want to.
So they go, Tony's just out round 1. No Vance.
Well, it's a team sport, and
it is a team sport, but you're talking about some of the best players in the world.
But they'll be runner up.
Okay.
So then runner ups. I'm gonna go Netherlands and Japan.
Okay, so we have Netherlands and Japan for you. Okay, I got Japan. And what did I say? Australia? No, I said...
it's in Tokyo, Japan.
It is in Tokyo.
So you know what? I mean, I think I'm going to not like my pick, but it's okay. It's done. It's already written.
Final number 1, we got mine. I got China, Australia, you got Japan, and Cuba, and you got Japan and the Netherlands and China and who's the other one in Pool A?
Cuba.
Okay. All right. Then we got quarterfinal number 2 for Pool C and D. So I got USA number 1 out of Pool C. And then on number 1 on Pool D, I think I'm going the Dominican Republic. And then runner-up is probably going to be Mexico. And then runner-up from down below, I'm going Puerto Rico.
I hate to do this, but I have the exact same picks. USA number 1. You got to go USA, America, fuck yeah. And then the Dominican Republic, they're just so stacked. I mean, Puerto Rico's pretty stacked too. I think Yadier Molina is coaching. So that's gonna be some good ball right there. Mexico, Puerto Rico. I think that's the safe bets right there.
Safe bets, we got it. All right, so then advancing quarterfinals to the semifinals. I got, I think it's going to be Japan versus Australia for my picks that I had. And then on the other side will be USA versus the Dominican Republic.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to say Japan comes out on top. And then USA, it's going to come down to Japan and USA at the very end of this. So, if we're writing a script and we're making a movie, that's what the people want to see. Japan versus USA. You got the two best players in the world on the same team, the Angels, for now. And now they're on different teams.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got the USA on top overall. I think USA wins the whole. I got to root for my.
Yeah. I'm not going to pick.
Against Japan.
I'm not going to pick against the United States. Yeah,
Japan has the edge. I do, but it would be nice to see Shohei Ohtani win. But
it'd be nice to see Mike Trout win too. So I'm definitely going to be rooting for the USA, and USA is going to be my final pick too, because we're stacked. Look at the lineup.
USA and Trout is championship MVP. He just goes off when they need.
Trout MVP.
I'm 3 for 4 with a homer.
I mean, Bryce Harper's playing too. 3
for 4 with a homer, 4 RBIs.
It's like, you know what? He hasn't played in high leverage, high stakes situations, and this is going to be good for his career. It's going to be, hey, you know what?
Something to prove.
Exactly.
Shohei Ohtani's got something to prove too, or he's very upset that he didn't win the MVP this year. But yeah, no, I'm making it. Trout's MVP, 3 for 4 with a home run, 4 RBIs. Team USA wins it.
Let's go. Have a game.
Sticking with it. So, then quick, let's just kind of go through our Angels pick for the season. As we said, spring training is approaching.
Mm-hmm.
And let's kind of go over where we think the Angels are going to be at with their rotation, and then we'll get into their starting 9. So, rotation closer, and then starting 9. So, all right, this is what I got for the Angels rotation, which, of course, 6-man rotation for the Angels. Shohei has to be the ace. There's no way you put anyone in front of him. And then it's going to be followed by, I think, Anderson. And I think he'll be Sandoval. Detmers. Jose Suarez. And potentially... see if there's one more here. Potentially Tucker Davison that we acquired last year. I think he's got a shot. And that's who I'll go for the starting 6 in that order. What are your thoughts?
So yeah, Ohtani, definitely the ace of the team. It would be nice to see Tyler Anderson have a good repeat year. It's hard for me to put Ohtani at the very top because he's not your typical, just your typical pitcher. He's doing things every day. Mm-hmm. He's hitting, he's pitching, and sometimes he's doing both on the same day. So that's why they have the 6-man rotation. So I still think the Angels need an ace. They need your typical ace. Ohtani's not your typical ace because he is a unicorn. He is a myth, a legend, someone that's doing things that we've never seen still. So I don't think you can. It would be smart to not count on that all year to be your ace. They still need to do something. But yeah, I can't disagree with him being at the top of that rotation. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Shohei, Tyler, and then Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah.
That's song. What is his name? Patrick. Pablo. Patrick. Yeah, I got that guy in my head. Fucking Panda. And after that, it gets a little shaky. Is Griffin Canning going to be who we think that he could be? Who else do we got? We got Rodriguez.
If he stays healthy.
And I mean, a lot of these young dudes too. Whose time is it to shine? It's now. Now's the time to make a name for yourself. If you're a young pitcher in the Angels organization, now's the time to step up. Next man up. So I have a solid top 3. Those guys. And after that, it's any man's game. It's anyone. Spring training. Whoever takes advantage of that and takes advantage of the opportunity that the door's open. It's any of these guys' chance to step through. I don't know who's it's going to be.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It's going to be I think we got a solid 1, 2, 3, And then the last three are just, it's a hit or miss. I mean, like I said, Suarez had a great season last year, though. Detmers is a very promising rookie. Same with Tucker Davison. Griffin Canning is the other question mark. Jaime Barea is in that conversation. The Angels definitely need one more. I know they're potentially looking at a couple of other, like, kind of, back end pitchers that are still left on the pitching market. Maybe they still sign one more before the season starts. That's something definitely to watch for. But
yeah, see, Suarez, he's so just inconsistent. I mean, yeah, one day he looks like a guy that should be in the rotation, and then another time I put him in the same category as Jaime Barrera. He's a guy, an innings eater, someone that you don't really want. You don't want him on the bump with the game on the line, because I've seen these guys countless times. You give up the lead and just hand over on a silver platter the momentum of the game. And so yeah, these guys are good enough to be in the big leagues. You can't take that away from them, because you know how hard it is to make it all the way to the show. And they're good, but I don't think that they're good enough to be on the starting rotation of a winning ball club.
Yeah, no, I agree. But again, the Angels actually were pretty good starting pitching wise, so I'm not as worried about that as I am the rest of the team. But we'll see how it pans out for the closer. I got the Angels are probably going to go with Jimmy Herget right out of the gate. He kind of became the closer towards the end of last year after we traded Iglesias away. He didn't do too bad. He was 2-1, 2.48 ERA in 49 games. He had 9 saves and 69 innings pitched with a under 1 whip, a .91 whip. So he's got good potential. He could be a solid reliever for us down the stretch. Maybe he does turn into a solid closer. We don't really have anyone else. We picked up Carlos Estevez. He's probably going to be more of a setup guy. Followed with, Ryan Tapan and Aaron Loop. Zach Weiss out of the bullpen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a few different people. It's going to be they're going to go off of stats and see who's going to be best for the situation and who's coming up to bat. And it's going to be a numbers game. I don't think it's going to be anyone's solid. Like, Rice out, that was his spot. He was the closer of this team. And now it's going to be kind of like, again, the job's open. There's a job opening for closer. So it's going to be who's hot at the time. I think it could be, to start off, I think you're right. We're going to go with Jamie Herget. But
yeah. Question starting 9. I think let's go down one by one. We'll say our first man in the lineup, and you'll say your first. Who you got? Bat and leadoff. So bat and leadoff. Looking at the Angels roster here, I think I think he deserves the nod. I think he deserves a chance. This is where I'm really torn. I love Fletch, man. I love Fletch. He didn't have the best of years last year. I got to give it to, I think, Luis Rengifo is my leadoff man playing short. What do you got?
So, we're going to go lineup first.
We're going the lineup. We're going to go one by one. Who's batting leadoff and what position are they playing?
Okay.
This is going to be the Angels opening day, starting 9.
Well, Rengifo, he did finish the season hot. It would be awesome to see what he could do for a whole season. I know David Fletcher has got a lot of hate recently. I don't know why. It's hard to hate on the guy.
I think it's just because of his injuries. He wasn't there that much. I think that's the only real reason. His injuries kind of stopped him. But, I mean, he's a hit machine, contact machine. He's scrappy. He's our next David Exton.
I like David Fletcher. I will put him as the starting shortstop, but I don't think I'll have him lead off. But I'm definitely going to leave Fletch in and see what he could do for a whole season.
All right. Well, who's your leadoff guy? Who are you leading off for the Angels?
I might stick with Taylor Ward leading off.
Ward in the leadoff spot for you. Okay. Any particular reason?
He did great in the leadoff spot last season when he was healthy. He had that good run, that good stretch, and he was the leadoff guy.
For average, and just get Trout. If not better.
Yeah, I like him. I think he would.
He has a bounce back here. Okay, so you got Taylor Ward, and he's playing what, right? We got him playing.
Let's see. I would have. Where would Hunter Renfroe like to play, right or left?
He's probably gonna be in left, in my opinion, but
yeah, either way. Corner outfield, and I've seen Taylor Ward get back behind the dish sometimes too, so that'd be kind of cool.
All right, I like it. Number 2, I think they're sticking again this year. I think it's going to be Ohtani and DH in the number 2 spot. What do you got?
See, number 2, I would put Brandon Drury back there to see what he could do for a whole season too. Second base.
Brandon Drury. It's not a bad pick. He's a good solid pickup for the Angels. I'm expecting some good things from him this season. All right, number 3 then, I got Trout batting in the 3-hole in center field. What do you got?
3-hole, it's 3 and 4 for me. You can put him either or. I'm going Mike Trout, Shohei, just the meat of the lineup.
Trout center field, Shohei Ohtani, or number 4.
Yep.
Okay. My number 4 is going to be... Number 4 is a tough one for me. Number 4, I think I'm going to put, I think I like Taylor Ward number 4. I'm going to go Taylor Ward, number 4, playing right field. And then number 5, I think I'm going Hunter. Hunter, number 5, playing left. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm also going Hunter Renfroe 5.
Hunter 5.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. Kroger brand, off brand, Mike Trout.
Okay. And then I'm going number 6, going to be Dury playing second. You had him at number 2. I got him at number 6. And batting second, who do you have after Hunter?
We're going 6 or 7?
6 runs.
6. I'm going with Anthony Rendon. Hopefully he can play more than 75 games this year. Hopefully he has a whole season. I don't want him to be a big bust, which that's what he is. I think right now his contract is worse than the Albert Pujols contract, but there's still time to change that narrative.
True. So I got Mr. Rendon batting 7th. I'm playing 3rd, obviously. I think. And, it's tough. Obviously, you want to see Rendon in the 4 spot, the 5 spot when he's in his prime and he was the Nationals. I think putting him down lower, though, makes our lineup much deeper. Having something like that in the back half of that lineup. And some of these new guys, I think, can provide a lot of pop in the middle. So that's why I'm going number 7 for Anthony Rendon. Who do you got after Rendon for you? Because you had Rendon on 6.
So 7, I'm going to go with Jared Walsh. And it depends on righty lefties who's pitching, because I know there's some guys that are gonna flip flop time, like Gio or Shala. But yeah, 7th I'm gonna go with Jared Walsh, and hopefully he has a solid year like he did the year before, not last year.
Okay. Yeah, see, it's pretty tough. I mean, Walsh is another guy. It's hard to picture him as a number 8 guy. That's where I got him in my lineup, as Walsh would be playing 1st and batting 8th. Hopefully Walsh has a good bounce back here. He's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of pop. We need him back in form as he was 2 years ago. And that's what the Angels really need out of him. So what do you got for number 8?
So 8, I have Logan O'Hoppe. That's and he's top 100 prospects. So he's the catcher we got for the Phillies, I think, for Brandon Marsh. So a lot of hope in this kid, and he's a big dude, 6'2", 185. So yeah, let's see what he could do.
I like it. Yeah, we got real promise in the catcher, O'Hoppe. We got our 2 catchers are going to be Statsy and O'Hoppe. We got Thice in there. That's kind of a backup utility player. Can play a little bit of all of that. And we got Gio Urshela as another backup. But for my catching spot, my catcher is going to be Ohapi as well. Batting 9 for us.
Yeah, let's see what the kid could do.
However, I do have a feeling the Angels' opening day lineup will be with Stassi in the lineup, just because he's the veteran. Stassi has a lot of pop. Stassi's not a bad catcher. I think he's a little underrated in the league. So I definitely think he's underrated. I definitely think he can be better than he was last year. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I have David Fletcher rounding up the lineup, number 9. I think he gets on base a lot, and when he's healthy, he's a pest for all the pitchers out there because he hits everything. He hits anything. He's a bad ball hitter, and he's got speed.
I love Fletch. I love Fletch more than I love Rengifo. But I think it's Rengifo's spot to lose this spring training. I think from what he did at the end of last season, he was really on fire. I mean, he had some pop. I think it's his spot to lose at this point. And Fletch can obviously win it back with a stellar spring training performance, showing he's healthy, making that contact rate where he's hard to strike out again. He can definitely win it back.
Mm-hmm.
And Rengifo can definitely still win even second base over Brandon Dury, but I feel like we need Dury in the lineup. So it's really going to come down to Luis and Fletch, I think, is the biggest battle to watch this spring training for the Angels to see who's going to come on top. I think that's really the 2 players to watch, how well they're going to do. I think the other players really have their spots kind of already settled in, unless they're just absolutely horrible during spring training. But I think that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, and I think this lineup's going to change a lot throughout the year. Luis Rengifo and Gio Urshela, I think, are going to be in and out of this lineup.
Gio I definitely see as more of a backup utility player. I don't see him an everyday player at this point in his career, but he's still solid player.
Yeah, he's going to split a lot. They're both going to split a lot of time with David Fletcher, Jared Walsh. Even Anthony Rendon. I think it'll be smart to have him DH a lot, to have him take some days off. Kind of take a page out of the NBA book. What do they call that? The load management, if you will. Same thing with the catchers. It's going to be Logan Ohapi, Max Stassi. Even Matt Thice. They're all gonna, it's a long season, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, the one storyline too, obviously the Angels' former top prospect Joe Adell. To kind of wrap it up with this, I think Odell gets traded before the season starts. To who I don't know.
I hope.
But I know he's on the trading block. I know people have been asking about him, and the Angels have kind of been putting his name out there, especially after they brought in Brett Phillips. That's another guy that I'm talking about. He's going to be coming off.
Ace Brett Phillips.
Brett Phillips is going to be a solid backup 4th outfielder for us. I think that creates a lot of good depth in the outfield for us.
He's just a good clubhouse guy. He's a good team guy. I don't think that
good lefty for against righties, and we got Hunter Renfroe as a righty, so he's definitely someone that can platoon with Renfroe in the outfield, as well as when Ward needs a day off or something. Or if someone were to go down with injury, I think we still got a solid. Angels got some depth this season, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They got backup.
I hope they trade Joe Adell, but I just, my fear is that it's been too long. He's been exposed, and he's just one of those guys that he has the talent. He has every aspect of the game that you need. He can run, he can field, he can hit with power. He's got an arm. But it's the battle with him is the biggest one is between the ears. It's a head game for him. He thinks too much. He's got the yips or something. We've seen flashes of it, but when we've seen flashes of it, it's been when the game's already out of hand, or when late in the year when we're out of the race. So I don't know what you can get for him, because I feel like the ceiling is already gone. Hopefully you can get something, but I don't know why they're still holding off. And when it comes to him and Joe Adell and Brandon Marsh, I was totally on the Brandon Marsh train. You hop on that. Look what he did. He contributed big time in the playoffs and the World Series.
Yeah, I was a big believer in Brandon Marsh.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Adell.
But we did. We got Logan Ohapi for him. So hopefully, he is a top 100 prospect. So there is hope there.
There's hope there for the Angels. I do think they get rid of him. I think there's still a chance we can get some kind of middle of the rotation, back in the rotation, MLB ready starting pitcher for him. from like a team that maybe willing to take a chance on a young guy like that, change the scenery, maybe do him good. And I see all the time Angels trade away people and they do better somewhere else.
Yeah, a lot.
We got rid of Randall Grichuk. Did great.
Segura.
Somewhere else again.
Gene Segura, yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? Maybe he perspires somewhere else. The Angels get something good in return. But, time will tell, and we're going to see where the Angels are here in a few weeks when spring training starts rolling around. Really going to be paying attention, monitoring those games. We'll try and live stream some of those games as well. Remember, these episodes are every Tuesday morning, being released 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 Eastern on YouTube and Spotify. You can reach out, find us on Spotify at the Sportsman Report and Sportsmen Media here in YouTube. Any final thoughts?
No, that should do it, man. A lot of good ball. World Baseball Classics to look forward to. You got the Super Bowl coming up next weekend. So yeah, a lot of content coming up.
A lot of content coming up. We'll see you guys on the next episode. We'll have probably some midweek reactions on the Super Bowl and then a full episode the week after. So until then, guys.
And you're listening to The Sportsman, Mike and Rob.